What am I doing? All right, in the other room, we're currently getting ready. We're setting up. We're just about ready to go. I want to get your immediate pre-go thoughts.
I am cautiously optimistic, scared, excited, ready to burn my taste buds. I'm ready.
What is going on, guys? My name is Cosmo vs. Goku, and today I am joined by the very talented...
Let's go first. I'm NPC. I'm...
And today we're taking on our take on Hot Ones. You may have seen my previous interview with... I released, 18 months or so ago now? And I finally convinced NPC to get in the hot seat. So I'm going to leave these guys to it. I'll be back a little bit later, but enjoy the interview. No one dies. I don't want to call an ambulance in my own house.
So how you doing today?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good about this?
Yep, as good as I can be. I've seen colors that I have not expected from any hot sauce, so my senses are gonna be in for a lesson today. I think that's the general gist.
And because you're a much tougher dude than Cosmo versus Goku, we have elected to go medium hot to extreme what the fuck hot, no mild sauces today. So are you ready?
Excellent.
Let's dive into number one.
Let's dive in.
Full disclosure, with my mouth open, we're eating chicken pieces soaked in hot sauce. Easier than wings and not as crummy as chicken fingers.
Well, that's got a nice little kick to it.
Yes, it does. Very pepper forward.
That's the one.
So, question one on a professional question page. How did you get started on JMA and what made you interested in joining?
Started on JMA, when I used to work in the same building as Cosmo vs. Goku, and seeing a lot of his stuff on socials about acting, whether it's voice acting or theater stuff, I reached out to him saying, "Hey, I want to get into acting. You know, you seem to know your stuff. How can I get started? I want to do this." And then, yeah, pretty much as soon as we connected from that, friendship grew. He made a lot of good recommendations. And then not too long after that, he informed me of Journeyman Abridged, his passion project, and invited me to be a member of the cast. And close to like a decade, man, it's been many years. It's probably around a decade. And yeah, the rest is history. That's pretty much the genesis.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Additional question to that. What's your favorite line you've done in a JMA project? Regardless if it's Journeyman Abridged, Digimon, etc.
Favorite line?
I mean, Naruto.
I'd say, so I'm thinking back to it would, there's two. There's one for like comedic reasons, and then there's one for like just emotional. So they're both from Might Guy in the Naruto Abridged. Favorite one is when now mind you, I recorded this line before watching Naruto at all. There's a scene where Guy Sensei just jumps in and kicks Jiraiya right in the face. And I think the line was dynamic entry. And he's telling me, yeah, you've basically kicked the equivalent of Ninja Jesus in the face. I'm like, cool, we love a good first impression. So just that whole build up in that scene, favorite line number one. And then number two was when we finally recorded the fight between Guy and Madara when he opened the 8th gate. Because I can imagine putting everything into that delivery of my Guy and the scream and the long scream. And yeah, me and Rob were just both just like tears in our eyes, because like just the emotion in that recording booth that day was just, you can't forget that stuff. So yeah, those two, yeah, I couldn't pick an absolute favorite, but those two would be the top.
Those are definite highlights.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, on to chicken number two.
Chicken number two.
Cheers.
Cheers. Whoop. You think? I feel this one's smokier. Would that be the right term?
Yep, smokier would definitely be applicable here. And it's also made with Tasmanian pepper berries, so that gives it that extra bit of spice.
Okay, that makes a bit of sense. Yeah. Just to get the thing in between my teeth.
Of course. Now, you met Kazuo versus Goku in 2011. How exactly did you two meet?
We worked at some telecom call center thing. I think we were selling. What was it? We were selling like energy gas over the call over the phone. It's like, hi, we're calling in regards to your account, blah blah blah. So yeah, I basically lasted as long to get my training money and then get out of there. But we bonded over a polite dislike for one of our managers over there at the time. And yeah, after meeting each other, office banter as you do, socializing with that, and glad that despite us both leaving the company around the same time, we still kept in touch. So yeah, call center basically is where we met of all things.
I actually have a very similar story.
Yep, that doesn't surprise me.
Yep. Related to that, was it a joint decision to join Verve in 2016, or did one of you influence the other?
I'd seen him, it was obviously in that the earlier discussion of his acting work and pursuing that. When it came time for me to, take classes and courses more seriously, reached out to him. So he had already been doing Verve for a couple of years when I finally asked, and it was I was doing my third, he helped me prep for my audition for the first year class. And around that time, I saw him perform his third year. So I think he had already been at Verve for a couple of years. And then in preparation for the third year, or before his third year started, he was helping me prep for my first.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And related to those two, how long did you guys perform Job Does Not Equal Career?
We performed it off memory. This is purely off my memory, and forgive me, Rob. We performed it for 3 consecutive nights. It was at a theater in, I think it was in Richmond, the Owl and the Cat theater. And yeah, that was an absolute, we made a net profit of -$5. That was we still got the poster that, he gifted me afterwards, saying a job well done. And it was one of the more, it's one of those things in your life that you'll just never forget, because, we didn't, money wasn't the issue. It was the fact that we both created something from our lives, and we got to share that moment with a dear friend. So that'll always hold a special place.
Well, that's excellent to hear.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it definitely allowed you guys to bond further too.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So
100%.
on to wing number 3.
Wing number 3.
Yep. Mine's a bit broken, but that's okay.
Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, this one's not as smoky. What's that one?
And it's a Szechuan. So similar kind of thing, but this one has ghost peppers, whereas the other one had reapers.
Ah, okay. It's because the other one was a little more smoky, so I'm not getting that from this, Dexter's hot sauce number 5.
Yep.
Is that a dog or a dingo?
That is a dog. I think it's a blue heeler.
Oh, very nice. Cool.
Okay. So question number 3. When would you say you found your passion for acting and performance art? And is it true that your first ever role involved a traditional Greek outfit?
When I discovered my passion for acting and performance, I was around 5 or 6, and I was just being a kid, finding entertainment in anything. And then my mum surprised me by taking me to a community, it was like a small acting group for kids, and they were based out of a church community council hall thing.
Right.
And so I had no idea why my mum took me there, because she just thought, hey, Matt, you're going to have fun with this if I can travel back in time 26 odd years ago doing that. And then I remember that time, playing with the other kids my age, getting creative, listening to the lady that was, herding us around as kids get. But I'm looking back on that memory as a kid, and I thought that was probably the most fun I had in a lot a lot of my childhood. So I'd say if I'm going to trace back to like the very first like OG drop in, okay, this is definitely the inspiration behind it, that it's when I was like 5 or 6 in some church theater thing. And my first proper role, I think if I remember, it was grade 5, primary school. It was a production called Germs. And it was about, you had the flu, you had the cold, any like, you know, your normal childhood illnesses that you had, they were like what the characters were. And the whole message was we all live in the body and the host is basically dying. And if we don't do something about it, like thinly veiled global warming messages in there, if we don't take care of where we live, we're all going to get out. But yeah, my character was Flu, and I played like sort of a, like the world is ending, sort of like, oh, yeah, okay, he's the town weirdo, like no one listened to him. But then when the body died, I was the only one that survived. It's like, haha, who's the crazy one now?
So basically, you're the viral equivalent of Socrates.
Yeah, pretty much. That was that. But yeah, so sadly, you know, no traditional Greek outfit. But, you know, I'm looking forward to incorporating that into other creative projects. But yeah, not my first. But I can understand why Rob would assume that that would be my first costume choice.
Well, I can just picture it.
Yeah.
Although, would it be Athenian or Spartan? That's all Greek to me.
It's all Greek to me.
All right, number 4.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Have some water to kind of.
Sorry. Rachel.
Good. And this is stuff that I put on my waffles.
You have spicy waffles?
Why not?
I mean, fair. But look, this is probably, in terms of like, it's weird to say in terms of flavor, but I think that this is probably my favorite tasting one so far.
Well, it is a very good one, and it can be used for both dessert or savory. It's very versatile.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, speaking of versatility, describe working with your fellow castmates or the process at present.
Describe. So, because Rob has organically mastered the logistical challenge of getting all the different cast members over for a recording session, whether he goes to their house or they all come here, because I haven't worked with them on the same day. But it's like, because 99% of it is working with Rob. But the way he describes it, like say a dialogue between my character and if I'm conversing with Twisted Flames or Cheese Pizza, he's very good at leading into it or like feeding the line, describing the context and the emotion behind it to aid my delivery in the line. So my working with them face to face, like in the same room at the same time, minimal at best. But you know, the only one I really work with like every single time would be Rob. So, you know, it's a pretty smooth process. He gives me the direction. I have my first crack at it, and then he'll say, okay, cool. And then do the directorial editing. Okay, try it this way, tone it down here, bring it up, speed it, and all that stuff. So look, it's definitely been a comfortable learning experience if I'm going to simplify it.
Fair enough. Related to that, how do you balance the acting psychology of each character and to keep one unique?
Each one unique. So the acting psychology, I'd say, because we try to lead into that, but every character that we've discussed or that he wants to give me before being cast as that character, he'll give me like he'll give me like one descriptor and then just let me sort of run with it. And in terms of the emotional delivery, like say, for example, the Might Guy Madara fight, and he goes, so he showed me like the clip from the original show and saying, okay, remember, and I'll say this, as much as I love Might Guy, he should have died. It would have been a much better, just add so much more meaning to the sacrifice of everybody, you know, fight me on this. But the emotional of I'm about to sacrifice myself for everyone that I love. And obviously, you know, being a big fan, I could like feel the emotion building up. And as me and Rob were discussing it, he goes, okay, cool. That feeling as you deliver because my impression of Guy's quite like boisterous and like, ha, 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 like that sort of, that element of jolly, but keep that energy, but you've got, this is the end. This is it. I'm never going to see my family, my friends again. I need to do this to protect them. So that energy, that emotion, and yeah, we just applied that with all the other characters, depending on obviously the context. Like for a lot of the lines for Ty, when I'm talking to Ty's little sister, his cue was, okay, because I've got a 13-year-old sister that I love and adore, so I've got a little sister. So take that of pretend I'm talking to someone, pretend I'm talking to my little sister, and she's obviously very precious to me and I'm trying to protect her. And so just incorporating the real life elements that I can pick a little similarity to relate to, and then that drives the emotion in the delivery.
Very nice. All right, so we're on to number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now. 5. Yes.
Cool.
And this is sauce that is made with fermented ants.
Fermented what?
Do you want ants? Because that's how you get ants.
Green ants.
Yep. Green ants from Northern Territory, generally traditional bush tucker for Aboriginal tribes up there. Taken down to South Australia to make this sauce, and also made with Trinidad scorpions, peppers, and Carolina reapers.
Green ants.
Yeah, I do find they have a taste somewhere between coriander and lime.
I'm just trying to think, like, how did they discover that? Like, they were just like, I wonder, like, because you mentioned bush tucker just before, right? Like, how did they, do they let it ferment as part of the bush tucker? Or are they just like, hey, if we leave these ants in there, like, what's going to happen? Like, how did they discover that?
Not sure. All I know is that this particular sauce is run by a company that does pizza. So I'm imagining they probably got a bunch of ants, fermented them, and then fermented the peppers, and then blended them together with vinegar and what else.
Of all the things. Then again, I've heard of, I was listening to a Surprise, a fitness podcast, and they were talking about, they somehow mentioned there's like somewhere in Indonesia, there's like a cat, and there's a unique coffee blend where a cat ate the coffee beans, they poop the coffee beans out, and then they grind and process it and make coffee from the shit beans.
Yep, they do the same thing with certain monkeys, I think in Africa, and it's a major seller in the UK.
Yeah, cool. That sounds cool. I wouldn't eat shit beans. Like that's not a thing. But look, give me fermented spicy ants.
Yeah, like any day.
Any day.
I happily agree with that.
Any day.
So a bit of a loaded question from one of your fellow cast members who will remain nameless, but you can guess if you like.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite movie? Favorite fictional character and why? Least favorite media genre, and your spiciest pop cultural take.
Okay, so give me the first one.
Favorite movie.
Favorite movie. God, I have a feeling. I have a suspicion on who asked the question and what they think or what my answer should be in relation to that. So I'm gonna say. Oh, damn, it's between two. It's between either Disney's Hercules or Beauty and the Beast. As a kid, growing up, they were just like my two favorite.
I think Beauty and the Beast was the first one that I saw in a cinema.
Yeah. Hercules was the first one I saw in a cinema. And then Beauty and the Beast was the first one on VHS, the ancient forbidden dwarven tech of videotapes.
Which I know very well.
Yep.
I'm old.
Okay, so yeah, I'll say Beauty and the Beast. And what was the next question?
Favorite fictional character and why?
Favorite fictional character. God damn, if only I didn't have an entire lifetime of fictional movies to obsess over.
Know the feeling.
Yeah, God. Yeah, exactly. First favorite fictional character. God damn, this is probably going to be a little. I'm going to say Disney's Hercules. Hades. Hades is my favorite. As much as Hercules is the good guy and all that stuff, like Hades is childhood is, Hercules is everything. And then adulthood is realizing Hades is just more relatable.
Oh, yeah.
Just like.
And he's funny as hell.
Oh, yeah, he's absolutely. He is sassy and just wants to be left alone. For most of it, just like, okay, you didn't leave me alone. I'm going to start taking over all your shit now. Whoops. Sorry. Hey, Titans. I'll at your boy. But yeah, so we'll go with Hades from Disney.
Good choice. So your least favorite media genre?
Least favorite media genre is in like pop rap, like as in like genres of music, or media, radio, TV.
Like least favorites, I don't know, kind of a genre, kind of music, whatever. What's the thing you hate most?
I think that, okay, well, the favorite type of media is the, was it like the tabloid news, like the trashy, like the TMZ types. It's like the whole thing exists to give me updates on celebrities' lives that I really couldn't care less about. Like, Kim Kardashian ordered a different kind of cheese on her pepperoni pizza. What does that say about Kendall's relationship with, like, no one fucking cares.
Exactly.
I could not, if I could try to care less, I'd be worried about the result. Just the amount of depths. If it's possible to care negative, whatever the negative amount of care units is, every time that, celebrity tabloid, trashy
reality TV,
not at all scripted.
Yeah, King Charles got a pimple on his ball sack. Yeah, nobody cares.
Yeah, literally no one cares. When they recently told everybody that has a device near them that Charles recently had a cancer diagnosis, it's like, I had to bite my tongue because I'm not going to wish that anyone has cancer, despite how much I just disagree with what they're all about. But the sad thing was, because he's the king, he'll have access to like state-of-the-art medical care at the drop of a hat, and you've got 99.99% of the population of those who are sick who will die because they're on a waiting list or they can't afford the care that they need. So it's like, look, I'm not going to actively wish Charles harm, but he's not getting any of my sympathy because there's too many people that are just, oh, gee, the king's sick. Oh, gee, I wonder what that's like. You know what I mean?
That's not a spicy hot take. That's just a general take.
That's just a general take. That's not the spicy take.
So spicy is hot take for anything.
For anything. Whoa.
Like any pop cultural take, like Taylor Swift is overrated.
Yeah. Like I feel a lot of people share that sentiment, but I'd say my favorite.
That's just an example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll say this as someone who's guilty of it myself. Like, I understand, that we like certain things, or that we're a fan of a certain genre group, whatever. I'm growing more, like, we shouldn't deify celebrities the way that we do. And I only say that because I see people like Taylor Swift is performing in Melbourne this weekend, and there's all this hullabaloo, all this fuss, biggest star on the planet, like that's all cool. And I'm just seeing generally people lose their composure over someone who doesn't know or care.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure Taylor's a lovely person and all, but just thinking numbers wise, we're talking like millions and millions of people, and you think like they're just going over the top. We deify celebrities. They're human at the end of the day. It's like I think people just start losing too much common sense too easily because they want something to look at and something to escape to. So that's my take. Develop hobbies. Stop worshiping people. Worship yourself. Make yourself a priority.
Exactly. Parasocial relationships are not healthy.
There you go.
And I have no doubt that she's talented. I will agree, but let's not pretend that she is a living god. I don't feel the same way about Metallica. They're just dudes. Talented dudes, but they are dudes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so let's move on to number 6. Okie dokie.
I'll swirl that around. Ooh, I like this one. What do we got here?
We have Blair's Sudden Death. Now, he has had the bomb.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey!
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm feeling the kick. It's annoying because it's not spread out. It's like one line in my tongue. Like, the sides of my mouth are fine, but it's like just a straight line to the back of the throat. And okay, you were right.
This is almost the same heat as the bomb, but flavor-wise, so much better, which is why I chose it for today.
Excellent.
Why make you relive the same crap? So, with that level of spiciness in your mind, and after we have come away from parasocial discussions, describe your love of Henry Cavill and how his screen presence can affect the film or show that he is in.
Gee, I wonder who put that question in there. I've long... I don't know. We ruined the official documents. So repeat the...
So describe your love of Henry Cavill and how his screen presence can affect the show or film that he's in.
I think Henry Cavill... I think a lot of it, obviously aside from the fact that he's literally got the body of like the ideal Superman in my eyes, and James Gunn and DC did him dirty. I will fight anyone who dares to disagree. And it's not like aesthetic aside, I feel maybe in one or two roles he may have been typecasted, but who cares? It's Henry Cavill. And we were just talking about parasocial relationships. But but when I learned that he's a genuine nerd and part of the quote unquote controversy around, maybe not so much in Superman, but definitely in The Witcher, when he carried those first 3 seasons, and he would have arguments with the writers, or he kept getting reported to HR for being argumentative or disruptive, when all he was saying was, we had the source material, this is what you're doing, they don't match up. Geralt doesn't do this, like just constant disputes on, okay, we don't need a sex scene here. Geralt would have said this. Yennefer is like that. Why is Vesemir... Like, he would just be like, no. He would fight and jab. It's like, no. It's like, creative liberty is all well and good, but I know the fans, and they're going to want you to listen to this. And so just that added to just my respect for someone who, one, is also a fellow nerd, loves the accuracy of material, and felt like his whole thing was, yeah, this is what the fans want. Give the fans what they want. They will tell you, and if the show tanks, it's going to be your fault because you didn't listen to the source material that, the reason why The Witcher became popular, and you're going to ignore all of that. The fact that he fought so much for the fans' enjoyment is one of the many reasons. He's obviously, I'm not so much into Warhammer, but the fact that he took time out of a tour to visit like a Games Workshop and spend hours talking to the fans. He built his own computer. He almost didn't get the role of Superman because when Zack Snyder was calling him to say, yeah, you got the role, he was too busy doing a dungeon crawl in World of Warcraft. He was too busy playing. Like, you can't pause a live game. Like, thank you. He gets it. So growing up and my friends would know this, having a man crush on Hugh Jackman, and then like next gen was like Henry Cavill, it's like in a very similar light. I'm thinking, okay, yeah, cool. If I were inclined, if I were gay in any way, I'd be like, yeah, Henry Cavill would be that sort of person. So he's just so many things that contribute to my appreciation and my respect for what he's trying to do in the acting space.
And fun fact for those in the horror community, Henry Cavill was in the 8th Hellraiser movie Hellworld, where he gets a hook through his chest and then flies around like Superman. This is a few years before he was officially cast.
Was that before? How long before the film Immortals would that have been?
Hellworld came out in like 2005.
Okay,
2003.
Way before Immortals. The one with Luke Evans as Zeus, where they were all like, as someone with Greek heritage, I grew up with a particular fondness for mythology and the pantheon and all that. And I'm thinking, he tried to, because it basically just had like the 300 movie skin with slightly different characters, same skin. And I'm trying to think, like, why are we all just gold skirt? Like, there's, aside from the weapon you're holding, I can't tell you're Poseidon or you're Hades or you're so-and-so. It just, look, it didn't need to be made. Like, I love Henry Cavill. He's great and all. I quite liked Mickey Rourke's portrayal of Hyperion in that. But it didn't need to be made. It didn't need.
I never actually saw it, so I'm going to take your word for it.
Yeah, skip it. You're not missing much.
Take my word for it. Hellworld is actually pretty dismal, but it's there for like a fun trivia note. But the movie itself is crap. No wonder Doug Bradley left the pinhead role. All right, moving on to number 7. Okay, so let's have fun with this.
Swell it. Okay, I'm liking this one.
As am I.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, that particular brand is lovely. Marie Sharp's. She grows all her own peppers in Belize. This is made with a hornet pepper, which is a crossbreed of a scorpion and a ghost pepper, made just for this sauce.
That's good.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Now, here is another question from a fellow cast member. I'm just going to do his voice just for the hell of it. When are you going to start watching One Piece? Okay, that was actually a piss poor impression. I think you know who it is.
I wonder who. Gee. When am I going to start watching One Piece? Look, I don't want to lie to you. I'm kidding. But to be fair, I did try when I logged on to Crunchyroll, and I thought, you know what? With the Netflix show and people saying, oh, it's actually really good, I thought, let's respect the original. And, you know, people may hate me for this. Look, I don't care. It's fine. I got maybe 10 minutes into the first episode and I just couldn't.
Fair enough.
So look, I did try. It's 10 minutes more than I would have ever expected. But I just couldn't get into it.
Fair enough. Related question from the same person, and these are his words. And can you just not? Because it's not fair to the rest of us, you bulky, charismatic bastard.
So repeat that.
Can you just not? Because it's not fair to the rest of the cast, you bulky, charismatic bastard.
I mean, he did say I'm bulky.
I was going to say charismatic, but
that too. Bulky, charismatic bastard. Could I just not? Look, I could, but I'm going to. Too bad. And my question is, what are you going to do about it? Yeah? You're gonna stand there and direct me and develop and, you know, nurture my talent? Yeah, you think you're going to do that because we're good friends? You think you're going to... I will do whatever I damn well please, and we will have fun. There.
Yes. Why don't you come in and take the hot seat sometime? All right. So number 8.
Tasty, hit it. These are getting... Sorry, words, manners. It's gone, like, in terms of, like, spicy or the kick, it was, like, little bit. But, like, in terms of flavor, they've actually gotten better the spicier it's... I don't know, I think so far, the Sudden Death and the Red Hornets have been my two favorites in terms of just flavor, but this Danger Mate's almost death, not quite death, death adjacent.
It's not quite death.
Yeah, it's a super hot chili sauce. This is literally spice level 10 out of 10. It's actually quite lovely.
Yes, it is. All right, so you have just recently become a personal trainer.
Yes.
So when did you start bodybuilding passionately, and what drew you to it?
I started bodybuilding passionately, taking it seriously, back in 2021, back when we were like kind of open, not open during COVID and such. And at the time I was coaching or helping my friends coach a senior women's football side. That's soccer for the uninitiated. And one of the girls that I was training, absolute legend, one of our captains, Celeste, she saw a story post on one of my socials. I felt like a few days ago prior, I had a really good gym session. I was feeling myself. It was awesome. And I had the question of, should I get back into competing? And then, she approached me before training saying, oh yeah, my sister does this. If you want to get back into it, you know, I can send you the coach's link and you can send the inquiry and all that. So I thought, yeah, why not? I recently started a full-time job so I could, finally allocate funds to getting into shape and taking that seriously. Because
Godzilla says that I should learn to fight my own battles,
yeah, what I used to do, and one of the reasons why I never got into the shape that I wanted to, doing my own thing, was having the $10 24 nuggets thing around gym was not conducive to proper nutrition. So that happened about 2 years ago, and haven't looked back since. The sport has done a lot for me, emotionally and mentally and all that stuff. Becoming a PT just seemed like the next logical step, because I wanted to give to other people what the sport had given to me and offer that same support. And going back further beyond 2021, basically, I'll give you the tidbits, the dot points. Heartbreak, wanted to get revenge fit. Just deep dive, blinkers on, only focused on gym and work. And then by the time it got to my first comp, my gym had like a transformation thing.
Yeah.
About 6 to 8 weeks in that, my coach asked me why I did it. And then when I was explaining it, he goes, you realize that you don't even care about the thing that you started anymore. Like all the heartbreak and pain, whatever started that's so irrelevant now because you've invested so much into yourself. They're like, cool. Didn't need that reality check, but we love that. That's cool. And then, so like obviously the heartbreak and, cutting some toxic people out of my life. And I thought, I'm going to get revenge fit. I'm going to look like a fucking god. People are going to look at you and think, you rejected that? Matt's so cool. Matt's so ripped. Like just that childish thing. And then once I came out the end of it, I thought, that actually doesn't really matter to me anymore. But I'm a healthier version of myself now. Cool. Thank you for being useful. You served your purpose. I'm going to just go and continue being an inspiration to other people. So that's sort of, what started my journey into weightlifting and fitness generally.
Oh, that's a very good reason to do it, and I'm glad that it's been working out for you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So, related to that, what's your go-to workout routine?
Go-to workout routine? Well, I'm currently on a 5-day split at the moment, but I'd say my favorite, just when I'm taking a break or I can do like an improv workout day, let's say, is I'll superset pushing with pulling movements. Like, for example, start with an incline dumbbell press, followed by seated rows, and then a leg press, and then some leg curls. So any exercise is like a pushing, and then the next exercise I do will be a pulling. So you're working the anterior chain and then the posterior, and do like 3 or 4 rotations of that, and then followed by maybe a 10-15 minute walk just on the treadmill. Like I can appreciate people who can push themselves through like HIIT or like intense cardio. I don't like that. I don't like running. Running has to be a consequence or a byproduct of something. Like growing up, I played like basketball and soccer. I loved playing it as a kid. Didn't love the running. Running was just something I had to do to play the sport and have fun at it. So people who can run for running's sake, I appreciate the mental fortitude for like those long distance runners, but that's just not me. Absolutely not. So lifting weights like a gorilla and then a little bit of a walk later on. That's my go-to.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have the body shape of a candied apple on stork legs. I've never been much of a runner, but maybe that's motivation or genetics, but I do try and walk as often as I can. Yeah. And first I do sit-ups. I sit up off my chair and then I sit back down. I sit back in my bed and then I sit back down. I sit up off my shitter and then I sit back down.
Yeah. Look, that's like jokes aside, but you mentioned like you go for a walk, you go for walks and all that. What I always preach is I love lifting weights and doing all that and feeling strong, and because that's what works for me. If you, for example, if all you want to do is walk, that's fine as long as people are moving.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse just for anything than just sitting on the couch, laying in bed, whatever, just being completely sedentary. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying you have to be a bodybuilder, you have to be a professional rower, you have to play basketball, you have to do this. Just literally any activity that gets you out and about.
And there is a gym near me that I have been thinking of joining. Plays a big factor.
Yeah.
I don't know. One of these days, maybe I might actually get off my ass and do some real exercise. I did it when I was younger. I'm not going to go into my sad backstory, but I am inspired by it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's really sweet. You surprised me. That was not at all in the briefing. Don't cry.
Well, you might be crying with the next one. So, number 9.
Number 9. Funnily enough, it's called regret.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's something way stronger.
Now, when I did Cosmo's interview, we did Extreme Regret. This is Extreme Regret Reserve.
Extreme!
Basically, more peppers, more concentration of heat, rounded out 1 million Scovilles.
Holy shit. Oh, shit. Damn it, Elijah. Elijah's Extreme. Holy, ooh, that is smoky everywhere.
That's a giant step up from the last few.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Fucking hell. It's like if the previous 8 were at like a 3, this is like straight to 9.5. It's like when you in the earlier Pokemon games where the distance from level 1 to level 2 was a lot quicker, but as you level up, you have to go through, it's a longer stretch from say 10 to 11 and so on. It's like the inverse of that. It's like, Jesus,
it's like doing New Game Plus, but without any of the weapon upgrades.
Yeah, pretty much.
Woo. Right, so with your mind on fire now, with the Full Metal Alchemist Abridged coming soon, are you excited, and how much can you describe the roles that you're going to play?
I'm always excited for projects that my friends, let alone myself, are involved in for coming out. When it comes to, oh man, it's like really just at the tip. It's at the tip of the tongue, which is probably the more annoying part. Now it's
I've got it on my lips.
Yep. So yeah, excited for it to come out. In terms of the roles that I was playing, I quite liked, as many of you would know, I play the role of Hohenheim, and I'm just really sure. Oh wow, this is really taking me for a ride, I tell you. But just the way Rob described when you're saying, "Hey Matt, you're going to be playing Hohenheim," I go, "Yeah, cool, sweet." Try and do like an older man, like sort of old raspy man, and you're like, finger waving at your kids, like, "Get off my lawn," type thing, like, "Edward, you little shit." Trying to do that. It was just, I play, obviously Hohenheim, and I'm just, excited to obviously see what you guys think. Fucking hell, I'm struggling. Shit. I think it's my time for a little bit of milk.
I don't know if this is related, but what is the springtime of youth?
The springtime of youth is an obsession of Might Guy Sensei, where that's because in this series, he's like in his 30s, like early 30s, and he's obsessed with the springtime of youth. And I think it's because he's driven by a fear of being old and frail and weak and whatnot. And I'm thinking, isn't the male prime in that age bracket? Like, you're 32 guy, you're literally in your prime, and you're worrying about being old. But he's like, that's just one of the key cornerstones of his personality. He's always using that as like the driver for his pointless physical competitions with literally anyone. 99% of the time it's Kakashi, but just like, that's just the main thing. He has to prove he still has the springtime of youth, and that's the reason why he'll do 1,000 laps around the village on just his hands. Literally, if it were a meme, it's like literally no one. Might Guy, I challenge you to this. Everyone else, we don't want to. Too late, I win. It's just, it's part of his whole gusto, and how he only uses taijutsu, but he still has like the other jutsus. He just strongly prefers taijutsu to get the job done for him. So that's the driving force for that, I think.
Nice. Speaking of getting the job done, let's just jump right to number 10.
All right, I think I need a little primer. That took me by surprise.
Oh, you're going to need a primer for this one.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, since this is a Hunt Ones ripoff, tribute, this is what we are doing. The Rapture 2.0, about 1.2 million Scovilles. It's already soaked in, but I think we can dab a little bit in.
So how many? So that's 1.2 mil.
Yep.
And how much Scoville is the regret?
1 million.
Okay, so only slightly more.
Slightly more, but you're still going to feel it.
Oh, yeah. Come on, you little... there we go. Cool.
Okay, let's just put that back on. That over here. Are you ready?
Cheers, old chap. Jolly cheers.
Are you ready?
Fun fact, this made Cosmo versus Goku puke.
Fun fact, I didn't know that. I'm going to find out if I have the same constitution.
So, number 10. With your mouth and brain on fire, in character as Rock Lee, please list your top 3 ideal date locations wherein Sakura Haruno finally goes on a date with him. Nice guy pose.
So, Rock Lee's 3 favorite date locations.
Or date locations to take cherry blossoms.
To take, yeah. Yeah.
And in character.
And in character, God, this is going to be funny with him out of fight.
My God, my mouth's on fire! Sakura Haruno, go on a date with me to the movies, bowling, the arcade, nice guy pose.
They were just the first 3 things. I'm not even sure if they're my favorite. They were just the first 3 that I could comfortably do as Rock Lee. Holy hell.
Yeah.
That's not helping. Yeah. Look, I'm definitely not, puking, in any fashion, but, I think I'm doing pretty well.
Well, you're doing very well indeed. So with all that in mind, now with 10 out of the way, it's time for the bonus round.
You good?
Yeah.
Who put a set of stairs behind you guys? Hey guys, it is time for a bonus round. Matt didn't know we were going to be doing this, so let's jump right in. The first source of the bonus round we have is not Uncle Mongo. It is Pickle My Chili with Linda. Second source we have for the bonus round is Uncle Mongo's. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Buchalokia barbecue.
What he said.
Now, the third sauce we were going to do was the bomb, because he's done it before, but that's boring. So what do you have for us today?
Today I have the Last Stab Apollo.
I thought we were doing hot sauces.
God help me.
So these ones are going to go, and these are all tasty ones, by the way.
Okay.
But from medium hot to apparently super hot.
Apparently. That's debatable. Apparently.
Okay, so before we start the question, cheers.
That is really tasty, though.
Very, very
Gotta
tasty.
start feeling it in a sec, but I'll savor the good moments as they come.
All right, so let's have a good question. How would you compare your knowledge of anime or manga with the rest of the cast?
How would I compare? I would say that I am but a student, and Rob, compared to someone like my dear friend Rob, it's like an infant visiting the Sage of the Six Paths. As big of a fan as I am, as much as I enjoy what I do know, in terms of knowledge of lore, character motivation, the world building, the whole universe, everything else, I'm not even a speck of dust on their shoe.
Fair enough. By comparison to yourself, I'm not even a weeb. I mean, I like late 80s, early 90s hentai, but that's about it.
Yeah, look, we all have our kicks.
Yes, indeed. Speaking of kicks, here's our next one from Uncle Munkos. So I'm going to try not to spill this on your leg.
Get a decent coverage on the spoon.
Yep.
Cool.
Coverage on my finger. Yep. I like keeping my finger covered.
Giggity.
Okay. Cheers.
Is this the one with the
The one with the really cool decoration on the front?
I'm saying because this one tastes like, this isn't the one with the mango in it. What am I tasting? I need my glasses. Well, whatever it's got, it's fucking delicious.
Absolutely. So, do you think current canon Naruto can beat current canon Gohan in a fight?
Current canon Naruto. Wait, so current canon who?
Current canon Naruto versus current canon Gohan. Who do you think would win in a fight?
It's annoying because I've seen that many death battle or who would win in a fights between a DBZ character versus a Naruto. Like I remember it was like Jiraiya versus Master Roshi, like that sort of thing. And here I'm thinking, okay, well clearly Naruto and characters from there have infinite amount of versatility. I would say, I'm just going to my instinct. I'm just going to say Gohan. I'm just going to say it.
I'm just going to say the Chojin from Ryosuke Doji.
Whatever that was.
Hentai.
Yeah.
Last one.
Why not?
Yes. Show me that Chojin dick.
Even though I haven't seen it, I could just picture what the animation would have looked like. What a lot of tentacles.
A lot of tentacles. A monster with 3 penises in one. Something like that.
Yeah, something ridiculous.
Okay, so this is the last stab, Apollo. Let's see if it's as hot as the Rapture.
Ooh.
More of a pepper taste, but heat, not quite as much.
Yeah, no, like, definitely more pepper would... I'm not really good at describing the pepper. Like smoky, pepper smoky.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can definitely taste the distillate.
Yeah.
So, last one, and this is another one. Who do you think could beat in the fight? Do you think you can beat Stone Cold Steve Austin in a staring contest, or The Rock for that matter? I would say John Cena, but you need something to look at.
Yep. I would say, look, I'd probably lose to both, but I would have a better chance. It would be a lot closer decider between me and Stone Cold than The Rock.
Good enough. He's got that eye.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's about it, everyone. But Matt, closing question.
Yeah.
With Digimon coming back, what are you most looking forward to people saying?
More of me. As Ty.
Hi, I'm Ty.
Just more of that, because clearly that's the fan favorite. Rob has totally told me and not lied about it at all.
Thank you all for watching. Thank you again for joining.
Thank you for having
Good
me.
day.
Nice guy pose.